Okay, not sure what happened. Facebook just quit. So we'll try again. Babylonian times, a master has 3 servants, and he decides that he's going to go on a trip. So as he gets ready to go on the trip, he says to his servants, I'm going to divide my talents up between my servants. So the first servant, he says, I'm going to give you 10 talents. And I want you to go forth and prosper with those talents until I come back. You know, he was planning on being gone for like a year. So essentially, he was turning over his businesses to these people. The second servant, he gave that servant 5 talents. And he says, here, I want you to go invest these and to do well. The third servant, who was new, he gave him 2 talents. So the master went away on his journey, and after a long time, he comes back, and he brings forth the servants, and he says, tell me what you did. Well, the first servant says, Master, I took these 10 talents, and I started 2 businesses, and I worked hard, and I prospered, and I've now turned those 10 talents into 20 talents. And the master said, well done, well done. You're going to continue to manage my talents. Then the second servant came in, and the second servant said, Master, I took your 5 talents, and it was very hard. It didn't go well at first, but I invested them, and they prospered, and I've turned the 5 into 8. And the master said, well done. You will continue to manage those 8 talents. Then the third servant came up and he says, well, you only gave me 2. And there's not much you can do with 2. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't lose these. So I wrapped them up in a cloth and I buried them into the ground. And I've preserved them. So here's your 2 talents. And the master scolded the servant and said, you are a slothful and wicked person and a terrible servant. Take the 2 talents away from that man and give it to the man who has 20 and let him invest it. Now, what's the moral of the story? And you might say that that's not fair. The moral of the story is you have to use your talents or you lose your talents. Whatever it is that you have that you need to work on, or whatever specialty you're given, or whatever abilities you have, if you don't use them, you lose them. And the people that work the hardest and prosper the most are given more rewards. If you remember, I've done a talk before about the difference between poor, good, great, excellent, and great, and outstanding. And the difference between excellent and great and outstanding is only a small difference. It's only a couple of millimeters. But when you stand out, the rewards are disproportionate. This is how the rich get richer. They perpetuate their idea. They perpetuate their model. They perpetuate their confidence. They just continue to get on a roll, and you get rewarded. Well, but how do you get started with the 2 talents? Well, you go follow the guy who's got the 20, who turned the 10 into the 20, and you do what he does. You know, rather than burying him into the ground, he could have gone to that guy and said, hey, can I come work for you? And I'll invest in whatever business you're doing, and then my talents will grow also. That would have been a better idea than burying him into the ground. So those who prosper get more. Those who work hard get more. If you don't use your talents, you lose your talents. And we've now used talent to say things that it's a lot more than just gold. It's ability. It's opportunity. It's time, it's youth, it's all of those things. So the message for today, whatever it is that you have, use it or it's going to go away. And the one thing that always goes away is time. So if you don't use it and time goes by, it'll go away just because you run out of time. And none of us want that to happen. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, everybody, incredibly very much for the birthday wishes. I'm going to try to respond to everybody on Facebook. It's going to take a little while, but I've looked at all of them, and very heartfelt. I had a lovely day, and we're back at it. Let's go get them. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.